So here we are on the approach. We got a big vulture or eagle in the tree. I wonder what it is.
Looks like a vulture.
No, I think it's a bald eagle.
Oh, is it?
It's a juvenile.
Well, an eagle is much better omens than a
He's
vulture.
gonna take off. I'm gonna get him taken off.
Nope, that's
No, it's a vulture.
Sorry.
It's just a vulture. We're coming in here, buddy. You're gonna lose your perch. So that's the tree coming down. I got several drop cuts I can make out here. Hopefully their dock holds up to the abuse. Game of trees, we're having fun. Hopefully it doesn't fall while we're sitting here.
Oh, that would suck. Yeah, for when we're actually doing the tree, I'm gonna park my boat over there.
Yeah, you're not parking here. This is my drop zone.
Oh, where else are you gonna drop it?
Yeah, nowhere. Game of
Like here
trees.
or on the
We're having
shed?
fun. Yeah. Okay, believe it or not, I forgot my GoPros. They were in a separate bag that usually goes into my duffel bag. And I picked up my duffel bag from the boat. I'm like, that baby's light. And then I remembered I had my camera bag at my bedside last night. Forgot to load it up. So here's the project. I'm gonna put another strap right here. And I'm gonna get a rope up there and we're gonna back tie it to some other tree, get a little increased leverage against the breakout. And then I'm gonna, drop cut what I can and get up there with a stick saw and piece it out and make it smaller. And maybe we'll make some pendulum swings. Game of trees, we're having fun. Okay, step one. I'm gonna set a choke right there and I'm gonna thread this rope up and over that crotch so it can be on that side. I'm gonna tie this back to one of those trees back there. Now you wanna make sure your choke, I pulled all of the line out of the bag because I want the choke, choking back against that. It would have been tempting to just tie my running bowline on this line to this one and pull it right up. But the angle of choke matters up there. So I wanted to be able to choke it back against the load. Anyways, a small detail. So I have it choked against the knot, and then I flipped it over that little stub. So now my rope will be pulling above that stub when we get the leverage. I want as much leverage as possible. I'm not that high up. I don't want to be so high up that I have to loosen it too prematurely. I want to be able to make my final cuts. I want to be confident when I'm down to just that stub that this is probably staying here. And I can just whittle that down in Frisbee form. So, step one. Now I'm going to throw a line over that little edge there. I don't want to get jammed up in that stuff. So I got to go over that little saddle right there. And we'll see how that works. All right, so I successfully got it over that little saddle. And now I can, predictably pick up this pile of rope and get it on that side. All right, the plan's coming together. So I'm setting a Norm Hall retrievable double ring sling is what this is. And we're gonna set it up here in this union as a back hold against that over there. So we're gonna bring that rigging line all the way up here. So we'll show you what this looks like. So on these retrievable slings, you wanna create as much friction at the crotch as you can. any way you can wrap around the trunk like I've done, and then I've tied back here at a compression angle. So our force, you know, is going to be, we've got a lead that leans away from our tree, and now we've got a rope angle in our anchor point over here, and we have, you know, over 2 feet of friction. So that 2 feet of friction is not much different than a hitch tied at that point. So a lot of times with these retrievable eye slings, the argument is, oh, you're compounding the force. But if you create a lot of friction at the union where the block is, where the double ring slings are, then that's almost equivalent to tying a hitch up there. And so the bigger the wrap, the better. If you had to anchor right down here at the bottom, you could take a couple wraps on the trunk, and then it would be like it was a tied hitch at the top. So a couple of little hacks on how to deploy these double ring slings. And then I just utilize a cow hitch so that I can get, you know, a little bit of tension in this by choking this up with a cow hitch. So you can get these on GameOfTrees.com. Norm Hall retrievable eye sling and the Norm Hall retrievable double ring slings, which you can see are double ring slings up there. Game of Trees, we're having fun. Okay, we're gonna be tensioning this. We're gonna see if we get any movement on that crack. Okay, we're gonna begin cranking. Are you tight?
We're getting there. No movement at all?
I don't, not that I can tell. Maybe. Yeah, that crack looks a little different. We have good tension, so probably over 1,000 pounds of pull at about 30 feet in the tree. So that's definitely compensates for my weight. And so when I get up there, I'm gonna be tied back to another tree, but I'm gonna drop off this lower limb. That's gonna be at least my weight, and then bring the pole saw up, and we'll make some other cuts. But we're gonna have to tie this limb off too. All right, so I'm up on the tree now. This was actually loose a little bit, you know, after we had tightened it up with the GRCS. So I got a couple more cranks out of that strap, and then we've got this ratchet strap up here, right, you know, as close to the brake as I can get. And then we cranked a couple more cranks with the GRCS. So we got quite a bit of tension on this line. And so now I'm going to trim this out of my way a little bit. I'm going to leave this attached because we're sticking through the roof there, and we've got a lot to clear on that. That's going to be what we do last. I'm going to now go up here and see if I can get up high enough with my handsaw and make the first cut with my handsaw. And I think I'm going to bring a second climbing line up and put a climbing line and a akimbo on that tree. If it somehow fails, I can fall between them, and I've got a friction device. I can just let the branch go, but I won't be like free falling back here. I'm up in the top of this canopy, and so at any rate, it'll be an uncomfortable situation if anything breaks, but I'm thinking it's gonna stay here. I have 0 wind. Isn't that a godsend? Thank you, Lord. We should be able to just drop cut these. We have no influence from wind. Game of trees. We're having fun.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Nice call on putting that.
Nice call on
Nice call.
Nice.
That is cool.
So I dropped this branch off of here, and I'm pretty happy with my judgment call to barricade those LP tanks behind the docks. And that would have been a direct hit on top of the LP tank. Maybe it would, you know, but the last thing you want to hear is a big hissing sound. I've had that happen before over an LP tank. So I just dropped it in the water. I knew I could miss the dock. And so now we're gonna leave that branch there as a barricade. Probably every branch I drop from here is gonna be a barricade. But we're gonna bring the stick saw up, and I'm gonna be able to reach out here and grab these things. And we'll see how it comes apart. I'll be able to get quite a bit with this stick saw. Lighten this up. Game of trees, we're having fun. The deflector log's working good. Well, I've eliminated my weight.
Oh, definitely.
You want to crank a couple cranks? Okay, so I just dropped that off the end of there. I got another one off up there. I think I can send this top one right down there. It's just gonna land right there. This one, now that I'm quite a bit lighter, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna notch this and flip it down here and avoid the dock. And then I can just, you know, cut firewood down this stem. But before I go past my feet, I'm gonna make a drop cut right here and lay this baby down in one piece. Gamey trees. We're having fun. Could I ask for a better day? Beautiful. Thank you, Lord. I missed the dock. Basically flat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That truck could have caused trouble. Well, here we are. We landed that piece flat on the dock, so I think all looks well. This is our big drop cut. We laid that down right there. This was a smart move to kind of protect these LP tanks. And that's what we have left. So just a little bit, that's all tied off so we can go to the roof and take that all off. And, you know, I told the guys I'm gonna go take a nap. Because, you know, before you try something like this, I mean, honestly, it's not everybody that can or even should, you know, and some people would say, I shouldn't have gone up there. But what you don't want to do is go up there and be afraid, like literally afraid. And I was cautious and, you know, I was nervous in various aspects of it, but I'm thinking it through and I'm analyzing it rationally. It's when irrational fear takes over and you do something, you take a cut that's bigger than you should. Now I was thinking about piecing out the end of that, and the pole saw was just proving to be very difficult. and I needed to change my position, and changing your position with a pole saw is even, you know, crazier. It doesn't work. The balance is all off. I'm like, okay, I've got my weight off of this for sure. I'm not rigging, I'm just drop cutting. I'm gonna rid myself of this pole saw and just climb out there and make the cuts I need to make with the handsaw. And it worked well. It worked really well. And so now I'm going to take a nap and sleep off this adrenaline. So looks like Leo's coming over here to fish. But Game of Trees, we're having fun. Nice place for a nap.
Don't cut anything.
Well, I had a couple of injuries on the roof, but there were some extra shingles around, so I got the hole plugged. And we got this piece hanging. So, you want to lower that down, Mike?
Well, I was thinking about, because it's still slightly attached.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I got to go up there and cut it.
I was actually either you have to cut, I'm going to throw a tag line on the bottom here,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
and then we can,
Manipulate it.
you know, we'll bet if we have to.
Oh, you might be free.
We got just a couple fibers up here.
All right, give her a little more wiggle. The main stem isn't moving. There we go. All right, my rope is getting involved. Well, good. Well, now we can safely say there's no problem walking up that tree.
Yeah, the rest of it.
So, all right. Game of Trees, we're having fun. Go grab the butt of that, Leo, and stretch it out a little bit. All right, just put her down. Wherever she goes, we can cut it. All right, we're down to predictable. Game of Trees, we're having fun. Look at this day. I think the last day we worked on the island, it was like super calm.
Yeah, that was on that other island with all them ants.
Yeah, that was on Beaver Dam Lake.
Oh, yeah. See,
Well, it was a beautiful day. The tree is gone. And look at this water. Beautiful. Game of Trees, we're having fun, aren't we, Leo?
We're having a lot of fun. Couldn't ask for a better day.
Yeah. Like and subscribe, you know. We'll see you next time.
Summer heat and tundra cold and throwing a storm of three. Stakes are high, there's always a risk when you're playing the game of trees.